Kusoma kweli inasaidia.
Kijana, nini nakusumbua na mimi?
Nauliza ni ungwana.
Don't you dare insult me, okay?
Mama Angel,
don't you dare.
me.
Okay. Let the dead bury their dead, right?
You're running around.
Hizo viatu zake zinanuka. Songea huko. Haya. Kwani umepita? Nini wewe? Yaani wataka kumpiga. Huwezi mpiga, umpige nini?
Welcome back. If you're joining us, you are watching Channel 1 News Hour. Now, in other news, former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko has suffered a temporary setback in his bid to stop the Nairobi County Assembly from vetting Anne Kananu for the position of Deputy Governor. Sonko has also lost a bid to have Acting Governor Benson Mutura stopped from executing the full mandate of a governor. Sonko's attempt to stall the change of guard at City Hall comes amid accusations by the Nairobi County Assembly that some political forces are actively intimidating MCAs from carrying out their oversight in Nairobi.
Justice Anthony Murimo on Tuesday declined to issue the orders sought by Mike Sonko, instead directing parties to highlight their submissions in the case on 4th of February. The ruling effectively deems Sonko's attempts to disrupt the vetting of Anne Kananu by the Nairobi County Assembly owing to existing. Sonko had sought to have the acting Governor Benson Mutura barred from making appointments or sacking any county staff. Mutura has reappointed Janet Ouko as the Education Executive and dismissed County Secretary Justice Kathenge. Meanwhile, Amani National Congress Party has called for resignation of Deputy President William Ruto, saying his stay in government is no longer tenable. ANC Deputy Party Leader Ayub Savula alleges that the Deputy President has continuously defied and insubordinated the head of state.
We regret the attack on the President on his remark that he made at Honorable Musalia Mudavadi's burial of his mother. It's very regrettable for a Deputy President to issue such a statement.
Pia tunaomba makanisa yetu, sisi viongozi wa kisiasa tukiingia kanisani, afadhali hata mkataze kiongozi ambayo anajaribu kutumia lugha yoyote ile tagawanyisha wananchi.
Mtu mwenye anataka kuleta uhasama katika nchi ya Kenya, hatuko tayari. Huyo jina likuje bunge to impeach yeye.
Wewe unapinga boss wako, rafiki yako ambaye mlikuwa nayo kazi. Sisi vijana tunataka hizo promises ambao mlitupatia.
Please support the statements of the President of the Republic of Kenya. We believe that it is time for a rotational presidency.
This even as Kisero Member of Parliament Chris Aseka defended the head of state over the need for meaningful inclusivity government.
Ndio walianza kugawa nchi. Wakati walianza kuongea mambo ya hustlers na dynasties. Wala ambao wako na pesa, wala ambao hawako na pesa. Na Mheshimiwa Rais hajasema kwamba kabila mbili ndio hazitapigiwa kura. Alisema what if. Wasikie vizuri vile alisema. Vile wanaongea juu ya dynasties na hustlers. Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta alisema naye pia what if aanze kusema kwamba kabila mbili peke yake ndio imeongoza Kenya, ni wakati wa kabila nyingine iongoze. Na yeye pia ni mwanadamu.
Meanwhile, attempts by impeached Nyandarua County Speaker Ndego Wahome to oversee business at the county assembly was botched after police barred him from accessing the county assembly. Wahome had gone to the county assembly chambers accompanied by 10 MCAs ready to preside over the business days after he was ousted by the Nyandarua County Assembly. For Channel 1 News, I'm Gladys Mongai.
Now, county governors could soon be allowed by law to appoint members of the county assemblies into the county executive committee. Now, the constitution review process sponsored by the BBI, however, limits the number of MCAs who can be appointed by a governor to the cabinet to not more than half of the executive committee's membership. Tonight, Kevin Washira looks at clause 46 of the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill that proposes this change.
Clause 46 of the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 proposes to amend Article 179 of the Constitution on county executive committees to provide clarity that a county governor has powers to dismiss or reassign their county executive committee members. This ensures that a member of the county executive committee does not automatically vacate office when the person holding the office of the county governor becomes vacant. Further, the amendments offer leeway for the county governor to appoint a member of the county assembly into the county executive committee. However, not more than half of the county executive committee may be appointed from the members of the county assembly. Currently, county executive committee consists of the county governor, the deputy county governor, and members appointed by the county governor with the approval of the assembly from among persons who are not members of the assembly. The amendment also provides that the county governors shall be accountable to their respective assemblies in the performance of their functions. Kevin Washira, Channel 1 News.
Now to a story that can only be referred to being stranger than fiction. An elderly man in Kiharu, Murang'a County has left his family and area residents confused after going against the grain and opting to dig his own grave and draft his own eulogy. In what is considered taboo in the African culture, Samuel Karanja, who is now the village's most sought after individual, says he opted to plan his own funeral in advance to save his family what he says, quote unquote, trouble. Yusuf Farah with the details.
In this homestead in Kiharu, Murang'a County, is this room with the words Kumenye, which if translated to English would mean knowing. It is an imposing word inscribed on the wall. This is, however, not a room meant for one to come and gain knowledge. It's a graveyard. The final resting place of one Samuel Karanja, an elderly man who has the village talking following his decision to prepare for his death in advance.
Sasa akiwekwa hapo, si atakuwa ananukia watu hapa karibu juu ni karibu sana na nyumba yake. Juu hakuna hata mahali hakuna shimo imeshibwa hapo ndani.
As if that's not enough, the elderly man has gone ahead to list clear instructions on how he wishes for his remains to be interred. No flowers, no cross, and most importantly, he does not want his remains covered in soil.
Hatujaiona maisha yetu. Mtu anajitengenezea mahali ya kushikwa na anatengenezea mahali dudu watakulia akikufa.
It's a move that has left many in shock. Family members, however, say the man has led quite a quiet life and chose to exclude himself from the rest of the society during his activities.
Alisema atakiva asiku tarehe 7 au 27. Sasa nikaona hai kama kupoteza network.
Hata sio shimo, ni kanyumba amejijengea ati akikufa atawekwa hapo. Badala ya kutumia pesa yote angesija busi na ng'ombe tukule tuserekee.
Karanja also wrote his own eulogy, his excuse being no one knows him better than himself. For now, his graveyard remains untouched and the villagers shocked, wondering what will drive him to take such an action. Isufar, Channel 1 News.
With the new.
Well, most people would just leave a will, but not Samuel Karanja. He's decided how he wants to go out. Now, in other news, two opposing factions of artisanal miners have clashed over the ongoing mining exploration at Makalda mines in Nyatike, Migori County. The two groups allegedly lacked consensus over the support and continuation of the ongoing excavations at the mineral-rich Makalda mines, triggering violence.
At Makalda mines in Nyatike, Migori County, tension remains high in the mines after what began as a peaceful protest took a turn, resulting in two factions clashing over the ongoing mining exploration in the region. One group was up in arms demonstrating what it terms as the influx of foreigners and tycoons whom it accuses of reaping from the gaping death traps. The peaceful protest turned chaotic when the group that was demonstrating clashed with its counterparts who are in support of the ongoing excavations at the mineral-rich Makalda mines. The Macalda Mine Savings and Credit Cooperative Society Chairman Felix Okwanyo says measures have been put in place to embark on land restoration.
During the restoration, there's some good material that we cannot throw away. Like for example, uliona hao vijana ngangana pale wakichukua hizi blue sapphire. Hizi blue sapphire wakichukua long one moja wanausa 1,500 or 2,000. So when the land was raised, meaning hatukuwa na uwezo ya kupata hizi vitu. And again there's some kuna mchanga mzuri yenye pia tukipata at least makes the place to be lively.
From today, clear it. Until those people will come and tell you they're organized enough to work there. If they are not organized, let nobody come look for sympathy from you. Clear that hill.
In 2019, Environment and Lands Court in Migori ruled the suspension of mining operations at the Macalda mines in efforts to restore the land as well as preserve the environment after 6 people perished while on a mining expedition. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
Now, a woman in Kariwa, Gatundu North, on Tuesday briefly blocked contractors from accessing the Karimenu 2 dam project over a land compensation dispute. Jane Nyamura demanded that she be paid for a piece of land that was heaved off to pave way for the project. It took the intervention of the area chief to quell the stand-up after residents joined the elderly woman in demanding suspension of the project until all outstanding disputes are resolved.
A distraught Jane Nyambura alongside her children and locals barricaded the gate leading to her property, resulting in a heated exchange between them and the dam workers. The 75-year-old is demanding in excess of 3 million shillings as compensation for her 1-acre piece of land, which she surrendered for the construction of a water treatment plant in the area.
Sasa tulikuwa tumeonelea juu hii pesa mwaka imeisha, tuanze hii maneno. Ndio tulikuja tukafunga hapa, ndio pesa yetu tupatiwe.
It later took the intervention of Area Chief Joshua Kirongo to persuade the disgruntled elderly woman to allow the project to continue after she was assured of her payment before end of next week.
Kwa hivyo sisi tutakaa hapa mpaka hao wakubwa wa Land Commission wakuje watuambie kama watalipa hiyo pesa, tuone wametuma pesa zetu, watupatie ndio tukubali waingie.
According to her son, Vincent Mungai, Nyambura was forcibly evicted in May last year after receiving compensation for crops uprooted from her land. A succession dispute later ensued, blocking her from receiving her full land compensation, a matter her son says took a few months before it was finally resolved.
Kulikuwa na mambo tulikuwa tumeongea juu ya kulipo hii pesa ya China, na mamangu akaanza kusubuliwa na mwili. Tukaanza kesi juu shamba ilikuwa ya mzee. Tukaenda huko na tukabadilisha majina ili iwe ya mamangu. Na tukamaliza hiyo mambo yote mwezi wa 7. Kutoka mwezi wa 7 hadi wote wanakuwa wakisema watatulipa hii pesa baada ya wiki 2. Sasa tumevumilia, tukavumilia mpaka dakika ya mwisho.
Construction of the 24 billion shillings Karimenu 2 dam is expected to boost water supply in parts of Kiambu and Nairobi. The project has, however, been marred by frequent delays over land compensation and employment disputes. For Channel 1 News, I am Emily K. Bade.
And now a Kenya Air Force aircraft crashed in Voi, Taita Taveta County. The aircraft model, Habin Y-12, was from Moi Air Base here in the capital, Nairobi. Meanwhile, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission says it is committed to ending the tribal animosity in Mandera County. More details in the county briefs.
Recovery efforts are underway after an aircraft crashed in the field in Voi, Taita Taveta County. Details of the crash of the aircraft remain scanty even as recovery efforts got underway. Elsewhere, National Cohesion and Integration Commission says it remains committed to bringing lasting peace between 2 warring communities in Mandera County. NCIC Commissioner Abdi Aziz Ali says the commission is actively engaged in dialogue with Gare and Murule communities with a view of solving all outstanding issues between the two groups.
We gave dialogue a chance, and we asked the two communities to solve their problem themselves, and that's the best way to solve conflict between communities.
Kile tunatafuta ni kutafuta njia ambayo mzozano kuhusu ardhi ya malisho, mzozano kuhusu boda katika constituency na mambo yote ambayo yanahusiana baina ya jamii hawa wawili tunaweza kutatua in a more permanent way.
And residents of Windridge Estate in Juja, Campbell County have taken to the streets to protest against a building project in the area. The residents are accusing a senior government official of using his influence to construct high-rise buildings in the area without proper approvals.
Kwa ile barua ama kwa ile mpangilio wote ambao unafaa kuwekwa, developer wa hii site hana change of user, hana approvals.
There is no compliance. As you see this area, there is not even sewer to support these 12 units. There will be six units and others on top. There is no system to support that.
Meanwhile, a road construction project that will pave way for ease access to Dagoretti Slaughterhouse, the main bus terminus and the market, is set to be back on track following a pledge to inject funds to complete the project. Campbell Governor James Nyoro says 365 million shillings has been set aside to complete the project, which was delayed owing to wrangles.
Tumeongea na tumesikizana na tumekubaliana kuwa kutoka kesho tutatuma survey, tutatuma road valuer na tutatuma National Road Commission wakuje wa evaluate, wajue kila mtu atapewa compensation ya kiasi gani. Halafu tutaandikania barua tuseme hata kama hawatalipwa hii financial year, watalipwa financial year ambao tutaanza kutoka Julai.
Beatrice Gatonyengetich, Channel 1 News.
Now, in the international scene, several Capitol Police officers have been suspended and others have been investigated over suspected involvement in the last week's riots in Washington, the force's acting chief says. Now, footage taken during the attack on the Capitol appeared to show a police officer posing for a selfie with a protester.
In a statement, Acting U.S. Capitol Police Chief Yogananda Pittman said her department was actively reviewing video and other open source material and had already suspended a number of officers. Disciplinary action could include dismissal, she added. At least 10 other members of the force are under investigations over the violence, U.S. media report. According to one unnamed congressional aide quoted by the Washington Post, one of the inquiries focuses on messages allegedly posted by officers in support of the rally. Footage taken during the attack on the Capitol appeared to show a police officer posing for a selfie with a protester. Meanwhile, Lebanon will enforce an 11-day curfew as hospitals struggle to cope with a spike in a new coronavirus infection. People will be forbidden from leaving their homes from 5 p.m. on Thursday with new exemptions. Authorities say that without drastic action, the country's fragile health system will be overwhelmed. Compared to other countries, Lebanon had until now coped relatively well with the coronavirus. Elsewhere, Ugandan pop star turned opposition presidential candidate Bobi Wine has cut short a live interview with a Kenyan radio station saying the military was raiding his home. The incident comes 2 days before Ugandans vote in a general election following a campaign marked by violence which has killed dozens of people. President Yoweri Museveni is seeking his 6th elected term in office after 35 years in power. The 76-year-old faces 10 challenges, most notably Bobi Wine. Finally, UN's Food and Agriculture Organization FAO has warned Eastern African region of new locust invasion. FAO say the immature swarms have been migrating from the previous locust breeding grounds in eastern Ethiopia and central Somalia and spreading into Ethiopia's region and into Kenya's northern and coastal counties.
Very well, it's time for us to take our second break on Channel 1 News Hour. But when we come back, we'll be telling you all about Naomi Campbell and how she is going to be Kenya's brand ambassador. That will be coming up in the business news.
Muone Faisal ndio huyu aliwekelea bid ya TV na ndio hii anaenda nayo. Faisal, hebu tuambie ni vipi uliwekelea bid?
Nilienda kwenye website ya QuickBid. Nikatizama nikachagua kuwekelea kwenye TV. Sasa niliwekelea mara 3. Nikaja kwa mshindi, nikakutana bid yenye imenifanya kwa niko mshindi ilikuwa ni 168. Sasa leo nimekaitwa nichukue TV yangu.
Haya Faisal, haya mali yako tukusaidie.
Jiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio ununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Get ready for a 3 weeks Africa Football Feast as the new year kicks off with the 6th edition of the Africa Nations Championship in Cameroon. From the 16th of January to the 7th of February 2021, 16 teams from the continent will be spread across 3 cities as the best players from domestic leagues showcase their talents live on KBC Channel 1. Let's support our own.
Let's do some business now. And supermodel Naomi Campbell is now a Magical Kenya International Tourism Ambassador after agreeing to help promote the marketing of Kenya as an ideal tourism and traveling destination to the world. According to Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, Najib Balala, Naomi Campbell will advocate for tourism and travel internationally for the Magical Kenya brand. On her part, Naomi commended the government of Kenya for the improvement of infrastructure at the coast, including the upgrading of Malindi Airport to international standards, adding that this will boost tourism in the region. This was agreed upon during her meeting with the Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, Najib Balala, over the weekend. That is indeed good news for the tourism industry. Elsewhere, Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya has hinted at the dissolution of a section of errant coffee cooperative societies that have been implicated in corruption cases, citing increased frustration among coffee farmers. He further noted that due to mismanagement and conflict of interest among top officials, farmers are missing out on the 3 billion cherry fund kitty set aside by the government to support coffee farmers in criminal investigations.
Mid last year, the government set up a 3 billion shillings cherry advance levy fund as a revolving fund to give farmers cheap loans as they await their earnings from coffee marketers. However, due to mismanagement and conflict of interest among top officials, farmers are missing out.
Na inawezaje kuwa wewe ndio chairman kule juu na wewe ndio chairman kwa society na unawapa hata loan ya wahitaji? Kwa nini uende kwa banki uombe pesa unalipishwa 15%, 18% na pesa iko hapa ya gharama ya chini na ni pesa ya serikali na imetengewa wewe?
Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya says some unscrupulous officials keen on maintaining the status quo and compelling farmers to secure expensive loans from either coffee millers or marketers and end up frustrating government's initiative that is aimed at enabling farmers access low-interest loans.
Sasa forms tutaingia huko, bwana county commissioner na bwana DC, nataka kila society wahakikishe wamesign hiyo form. Wale hawatasign wakilima waombe pesa au dissolve the society. Mimi nitakuja ku dissolve society. Wanaona kama ni mchezo. Lakini hatutaendelea namna hii.
He further called for the investigation into operations of Rumukia Farmers Cooperative Society officials who borrowed money from Taifa Sacco by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, sinking the farmers' outfit into debt.
Na wewe unakuwa chairman wa Taifa Sacco na wewe ndio chairman wa society. Hiyo inawezekana hiyo? Hiyo ni conflict of interest. Iwezi kuwa wewe ndio chairman wa ile inapeanwa na wewe ndio unapeana, unajipea. Na unalipia kwa niaba ya wakulima. DCI nataka investigation ifanywe hiyo haraka.
The investigations will also look into the role played by Taifa Sacco officials who authorized a release of a 60 million shillings loan that has in turn accrued interest of 100 million shillings. Regina Manyara reporting for Channel 1 Business.
Now, a section of small traders in the soap-making business in Kitutu Churches, South Kisii County, are decrying the lack of modern equipment and market access for their finished products. To elevate this, they are calling on the government to set up a kitty to safeguard their businesses against risks brought about by the COVID-19 disruptions.
Delicate measurements of different ingredients are being mixed here. As rudimentary as it seems, this process is part of a series of complex stages in the makings of soap. However, traders here say the quality of their products would be of superior quality if they had modern equipment.
The skill I have, but I don't have the facilities. So that is the major problem I have.
Ile changamoto ambayo tunapata ni ile ya kwamba hatuna vifaa ambavyo tunaweza kutumia kutengeneza hii sabuni.
The amateur entrepreneurs are however uncertain if their efforts will bear fruits since there is a shortage of a ready market for their products.
Personally, I've acquired skills of how to make soap. I'm ready for the market, though yet these skills you have them, but where to use them, still we have not found the place, but we are hoping that the government is going to work it out.
Venturing in soap and detergent manufacturing was a means to an end that ensured they were busy and making a living as schools remained closed due to COVID-19.
County, as I've said, we are in the fourth cycle. It's in Kenya, it's the fourth cycle, but in Kisii it's the first cycle. So Kisii came in the fourth cycle. So right now we have around 762 youths. We, of course, onboarded over 1,300, but due to difficulties with the corona period, we've had a few dropping out. So the ones that are in session are around 762.
So far, their small business has manufactured from readily available local materials a total of 21 different types of soap used for skincare and as detergents worth over 1 million shillings.
So nilianza na maganda ya ndizi. Kurogota kama wazimu, iwe unakula ndizi yako, we unatupa maganda. Mimi ninarogota, ninakuja natengeneza sabuni na kuuzia 500. Nikaenda step by step paka saa hii niko na 21 varieties, 21 types, different types of soaps. Different challenges on the skin. Challenges zote yenye skin iko nayo ninatibu.
Going forward, they are appealing to the government to support their venture through the Kenya Youth Enterprise Development Authority.
Sisi kama county, hasa mimi, tutahakikisha kwamba amepata eneo la ploti hapa ili iweze kumsaidia katika kuweka factory atoke kwa nyumba.
Alanoko, Channel 1 Business.
Now, Facebook has shut down accounts, it says, are linked to the Ugandan government only days before elections for a new president and parliament. The social media giant said a network connected with the Ministry of Information had been using fake and duplicate accounts to impersonate users and boost the popularity of posts. Details of this and other stories in our Africa Business Roundup.
In an interview, the government accused Facebook of being biased. The run-up to the election has been marred by tension and violence. After 35 years in power, President Yoweri Museveni, 76 years, is being strongly challenged by music star Bobby Wine, who is 38 and draws much of his support from young tech-savvy people. But a government spokesman Opondo Opondo hit back, accusing Facebook of failing to adhere to natural justice and echoing suggestions by other government figures that the social network is trying to influence the election outcome. Mark Zuckerberg has long insisted that the platform he founded has to allow all forms of free speech and cannot become an arbitrator of political conversations. Telecommunications Corporation Orange has announced that its venture capital arm Orange Ventures has become a separate legal entity with an increased allocation of 350 million euros, empowering it to be more agile and competitive in seeking out and supporting the best startup talent in Africa. With offices in Paris and Dakar, Orange Ventures supports startups at all stages of maturity, from seed stage startups in Africa and the Middle East to more mature companies in Europe and the United States, with investment tickets up to 20 million euros per financing round. And Highfly Marketing, a South Africa-based company that provides consultancy services throughout Africa's aviation industry, has launched Africa's first dedication aviation industry personal agency, Highfly Talent and Resourcing, to match airlines, aircraft maintenance providers and other aviation businesses across the continent and beyond with qualified and competent African executives and specialist talent. The new agency takes advantage of Highfly Marketing's extensive African aviation industry knowledge and contact network to provide consultative, research-based and solution-oriented sourcing services.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Do you honestly think so?
Yes, I do. But worse than being blind is someone who refuses to see.
Lack
Will you
of
stop trying to make a fool out of me, please? You have done that many times. But I won't allow it again. Listen to me and look into my eyes. I said look into my eyes. I will not allow you to continue making a fool out of me.
Too bad, Father. Juliana can't make it on time for your birthday. I'm very sure that after your rebuff, she wouldn't want to speak with you again.
The battle for the last 16 places of the DFB Pokal, better known as German Cup, is on. As former champions Bayer Leverkusen and Eintracht Frankfurt face off, hoping to book their place against Ottoways SN. Watch it unfold live on your true sports partner KBC Channel 1 on Tuesday the 12th of January from 10:45 p.m.
And in the world of sports, the national men's basketball team Kenya Morans are expected to report to camp on Friday ahead of the second round of Group B FIBA Afro-Basket Championship qualifying matches set to be played next month.
According to Kenya Basketball Federation Assistant Secretary Ambrose Kisoi, all players reporting to camp are set to take a coronavirus test Wednesday. The month-long camp will see the squad that played against Senegal, Mozambique and Rwanda train under Clifford Ward and Collins Gaya. Two foreign-based players, France-based Joel Await and US-based Fred Odhiambo, have been called up and will join the team subject to availability, while France-based Robert Nyakundi's inclusion in the team is subject to confirmation. The host nation for the second round of the qualifiers will be confirmed on 20th of January.
The three-pointer, now another turnover. Senegal turning over quickly, and Willie gets down the court.
Kenya, Mozambique, Senegal and Angola have all put in their bids to host the event that is scheduled to start on the 19th of February. The top 3 nations from the 5 pools will qualify for the FIBA 2021 Afrobasket Championship that will take place in Rwanda from 24th of August to 5th of September. Karanja David for Channel 1 Sports.
Now, reigning World Half Marathon record holder Kibiwott Kandie is the latest Kenyan elite athlete to announce his intention to compete in the 10,000 meters at the Tokyo Olympics. Kenya last bagged an Olympic gold in the men's 10,000 meters in 1968, courtesy of the late Naftali Temu. Kenya has not won the 10,000 meters gold in 20 years since Charles Kamathi took top honors in Edmonton in 2001. Kandie is targeting to end that streak at the Games, but will face stiff opposition from Ethiopian and Ugandan runners led by 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters world record holder Joshua Cheptegei. Athletics Kenya is expected to select its top track distance runners for a training camp ahead of the national trials for the Olympics. Now, Manchester United will welcome back hitman Edinson Cavani when they take on Burnley in the long-awaited game in hand tonight at Turf Moor. Now, following Liverpool's 1-0 defeat to Southampton, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer men now have the opportunity to establish an outright lead at the top of the Premier League ahead of Sunday's trip to Anfield.
Manchester United are unbeaten in their last 10 Premier League matches. The Red Devils are the only unbeaten side away from home in this season's Premier League and haven't lost any of their last 14 league games on the road. All 6 of their league away wins in this campaign have come after they conceded the opening goal. United have scored 21 goals away from home, more than any other top-flight team, but they are yet to keep a clean sheet on their travels. Bruno Fernandes, with 19 goals and 14 assists, has been directly involved in more than half of Manchester United's Premier League goals since his debut for the club early last year. Anthony Martial has scored in all 3 of his Premier League games against Burnley at Turf Moor. On the other hand, Burnley are aiming to go 5 home league games unbeaten and could win 3 league games in a row at Turf Moor for the first time since January 2017. They have won only 1 of their last 25 Premier League home fixtures against established top 6 opposition, a 2-1 victory over Spurs in 2019. The Clares have scored just 9 league goals this season. Meanwhile, Wolves will host Everton in another tough Premier League encounter. Wolves have lost just 1 of their 6 home Premier League matches against Everton, winning twice and drawing 3 times. The Foxes were 3-0 victors in last season's corresponding fixture. The Toffees are in danger of losing successive league matches against Wolves for the first time since 1979.
Well, they say at some point even the best dancer has to leave the stage. And this is time for Channel 1 News Hour to put a cap on the program. As always, thank you, Kenya, for watching. My name is Achieng'a. Our sign language interpreter this evening is Lucy Mwaura. We exit the stage, but we usher in Yusuf Farah with the day's weather report. Good night and God bless you.
A very good evening to you wherever you're watching us from. Many thanks for keeping it Channel 1. Time now for your Channel 1 with the updates. My name is Yusuf Farah. Tonight, rainfall is expected in the western and central parts of the country. Easterly winds of up to 25 knots will be blowing over the counties of Marsabit and North Turkana. And Eldoret is at the coldest with temperatures of up to 12 degrees Celsius. I'll take a look of how tomorrow your weather will be looking like in the morning, where sunny intervals will be dominating most parts of the country from Wajir all the way to Mandera and Garissa. Kisumu and Kisii will be waking up to rains in the morning, light rains rather, accompanied by sunny intervals. Areas of the capital city will be partly cloudy, accompanied by sunny intervals. In the coastal region, Mombasa, Malindi, Kilifi and Kwale, there will be sunny intervals in the morning, and the same will be experienced in areas of Alodo all the way to the Lake Turkana Basin. Let's now see how the afternoon will be looking like, where Kisumu, Kisii, Kericho and Kakamega will be having showers accompanied by thunderstorms in the afternoon. Best keep warm in that region. The coastal region continues to be having showers accompanied by sunny intervals from Mandera and Garissa all the way to Lodwar, Lake Turkana Basin and areas bordering Kenya and southern Sudan. Let's now see how your temperatures will be looking like tomorrow. Highs of 35 and lows of 25 in Lodwar, Marsabit, highs of 30, lows of 22. Kisumu, highs of 27, lows of 19. And the capital city, Nairobi, highs of 23 and lows of 15. That wraps up your local weather forecast. Again, many thanks for keeping it Channel 1. I'll be seeing you tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, have yourselves a lovely night.